Greetings, I'm GoldenWing, and welcome back to episode 4 of my Let's Play Space Engineer series. Today, I am standing on top of this mountaintop, trying to figure out buttons again. There we go. And I am with our brand new Mark II of our miner. And boy, does this thing work great. So just to give you a bit of a tour, we've got atmospheric engines. I used the tiered ones this time. So we've got a bunch of tier 2, some tier... I thought those were 3s. I guess they are tier 2s. We've got our tiered up drills. So these things are just crazy. It's got ore detector on it. If you're using the azimuth ore detector and you're on planet surfaces, by the way, I did want to point this out. There is the azimuth ore detector, there's the ore detector weak, and then there's this one, which you can see only uses one detector component. This, I believe, to be the largest range, but in Azimuth's own notes, he does warn against using some of these on planets because they scan such a large area, and you're standing on a planet, so they're going to kind of, might slow you down a bit. So I put the weak one on, and I only keep it on when I want to use the ore detector itself, not when moving around. Also got some screens, so if we hop in the cockpit here, and go into first person, I've got a good display of what's going on here. In the upper left there, we've got amount of cargo used. Below that, we've got an artificial horizon by WIP. Below that actually displays how much ore is on board. And then power usage, stop time, and distance, battery information, and then an altimeter. Most of these displays are using automatic LCDs, save the artificial horizon. That's using WIP's artificial horizon script. But I did want to hop in here and pick up some more gold, and I figured I'd take you with me here. So we're sitting right on top of a gold deposit. Let's unlock the landing gear. This thing is crazy. So we'll point this. That's good enough. Down towards the surface there. Now with right click, it'll clear out an area without collecting it. You can see this thing clears out a massive area. I was able, did a bunch of mining between this episode and next. I was able to collect 500,000 ore in a single trip. Which is a lot better than the little one we had a couple episodes ago, the Mark I. So we're doing well, but I wanted to gather a little more gold, and I wanted to give you guys a little shot of how this works. Hop into first person there. You can see it's telling us how much gold we've got, how much stone we've got. So just grab a little bit of that. Now the other thing I did with this miner, it goes up for her itself, is you can build what's called a sorter. So it looks like this. Small conveyor sorter. You can build them on the big grid too, the conveyor sorter. These are all modded bits, so we're going to ignore for the moment, but the sorter is vanilla. And what it does is it lets you restrict, you can see it, it's right under there. You can just see the green arrow. It lets you restrict what's going through the sorter, or through the tubes rather. So I've got these two ejectors on the bottom. Occurs to me I didn't bring a hydrogen bottle with me today, so I better be careful about that. So if we look out the bottom there, I've got the sorters which you can filter. Small conveyor sorter. If you come in here, you can set it up for a whitelist for stone and ice. You can actually remove the ice. With a whitelist for stone, that means only stone can get into our ejectors. If we look at ejectors, they're empty right now. I also installed Tim on here. We flip him on. Oh, it looks like I changed the name of our ejectors. Having troubles with this docking up to the station, and it would... The station sim would actually load up the ship with ore, which isn't... or stone, rather, which isn't really what I wanted. There we go. So Tim will keep these ejectors filled with stone, which if we look back in our cockpit, we've got 53k worth of stone, which I'd prefer not to bring back with me. Whoops. So if we hop into the ship here, and if we turn the ejectors on, they'll constantly throw out everything that's inside of them. So this gives me a way to eject all of the stone that I've been carrying and then continue to mine and pick up more gold. So in this way, I can make sure I take back all gold and not, 3/4 full of stone and a little bit of gold. So I'm going to go ahead and continue mining here, and I will catch you back at the base. Right, so did I mention that ejecting stone with only 2 ejectors might take a while? Yeah. This is going to take a minute. Not sure how you guys normally mine. Maybe you could let me know in the comments, but normally in planets like this, when I've got a miner like we've built here, this is about my normal process. I'll dig a bit of a pit underneath the area that I'm mining, and I'll let the ejectors just fill the pit with the stone or whatever excess I don't need. And then I'll use the right-click clear function to just uncover a layer of ore. Once these ejectors are done, I'll go through and mine that, and then I'll go back to this. I eject out all the stone, rinse and repeat until I'm full up. This is going to take a bit. So, a little over 600,000 gold later. I'll just go ahead and land. Built a little of the platform out. I did move the connector over. Put the connector on this guy on the bottom. And I think... yeah, I've got a little camera for it. Go ahead and get this guy connected up. There we go. And... lock. Oops. That would be my ejector going off. See what I mean? I locked into the station, and then the Tim on the station pulled my stone reserves and pushed it through to the ejector. Oops. But, if we take a look now, yeah, cool. So that's good enough. We'll go ahead and shut this guy's thrusters down. Nose off, and we'll set the batteries to recharge. There we go. I'll go pick up the mess here. I do have some stone. I don't actually have a lot, but goodness, you don't need a lot. Just for reactor components, I think, is all that stone's used for. So just go ahead and put that back. So, let's see how we did. 1.17 million gold ore. That ought to cover it for a while. And Tim's complaining about the ejectors. That's fine. Put an antenna on the base, so I could remote the Mole version 2 here. Also added a couple more refineries, and I moved the assemblers underneath. I added 2 large cargo containers. Reminds me, I want to grab those hydrogen bottles before I fall out of the sky and hurt myself. There we go. So today, now that we've got some resources under our belt, we're doing really well with components. Tim's helping us out with that. Yeah, we're doing really well. I think we need to do a little bit about our, I'm going to use this term very lightly, base. And by base, I mean platform in the middle of nowhere. The first thing I'd like to think about is these solar cells. These have been helping out quite a bit, but the lights here indicate how efficient they're being at the moment. Only at about 50%. I think we can do a lot better with this. So, to that end, I want to build a solar tower, which is going to go, I think, over there on that hilltop. And for that, I built a smaller version of the mole. I call this the mouse. And he's got a couple of, what did I put here, tier 3? Yeah, he's got a tier 3 thruster in every direction. He's got pretty much no storage. A couple of these azimuth drills. These are just kind of mini versions of the standard drill. Camera front and back, and a remote on him. And what I want to do with this guy is I want to drill a tunnel that leads under this post, under the ice, and then all the way out to that edge. Yeah, crazy. Because I think if we run a line of blocks, these light armor blocks, even if they're not built, if they're not completed rather, if they only have one steel plate per, all the way out there, then it'll be the same grid, and we can use that to put solar panels out on that ridge and transfer the power back here. So to start this, I'm going to realize that I can't remote control again. I don't understand why this happens. It was happening earlier. For reasons I don't understand yet. I think what I did to fix this was break and replace the antenna. Oh no, you know what? My broadcasting's not on. Oh, turns your broadcasting on. I bet that's it. Let's take a look now. Yeah, there we go. Okay. So this little, where is it? Down here in the corner, there's a indicator. Third in from the left there, that's your broadcasting. So if we take control of the mouse here, and turn on his thrusters, unlock the landing gear. I should, let's go into first person view. Hopefully this works. Never actually tested this guy. But let's see. We get right up close. And we do the right click to clear deal. I should be able let's exit out of that. Yeah, cool. So that's sort of what I'm looking for. It's a bit larger than I was expecting, but that's okay. So I'm going to go ahead and dig a tunnel down under the lake and out that hilltop. For you, it'll be a second. For me, it might take longer than that. Be right back. All right. So I'm just checking in here. We're about 250 meters in, and you can see I tried to get the tunnel fairly straight. I think I got it reasonably level, but parallel with these blocks, I don't think I quite made it. So that's all right. We just, it gets to the point where it's right in the wall here. And I just came out a few blocks and then kept going. But since I had stopped 250 meters in to check, I want to see if I can do a better job of this. So I took off, I had some arched blocks here because I thought they looked better, but I'm going to add these flat bits like that. Yeah, let's try this. Now if I get, I also added a seat that, believe it or not, is attached. Yeah, I know. Well, the game thinks it is, and that's fine for me. It also gave me the horizon, so I could at least get it parallel with the ground. What I want to try and do is get these blocks right up against here. There. So I'm hoping that will mean that this line will run more straight through the middle of the tunnel. Okay, so if we just a little bit out, wait, I wasn't, when I get there, that crosshair on the screen there in that line, I want to get those lined up top to bottom. Yeah, that looks good. Okay, so 250 more blocks. I'll see you in a bit. All right, so reporting back in here, we're about 500 meters in. You can see we did much better this time about staying in the middle, left to right. But what I'm concerned about now is top to bottom. We definitely drifted upwards. Now I know I bumped into the wall once, but so I think we can fix that, or at least help it. Also, I'm not planning to weld all of this in place. That would be a lot of steel. We're talking 16,000, maybe more. So, no, it doesn't need to be. But I do want to make sure it's attached now and again. So I welded these blocks in place so that if there was ever a break on one end or the other, the whole thing wouldn't fall down. We'd only lose a segment of it. Now I want to help, since that alignment trick we did last time, you can see how close to the ceiling we are, worked so well. I want to try and help ourselves. So let's put these here, like this. I want these welded up because I bump into them. You know what, since we've done all of that, let's add these two. Alright, so here's what I want to try. If we hop back into our seat here, and if the zoom is going to play nicely, we should be able to back in. Maybe. Oh, can I get the camera to work for me? Possibly. Okay. Alright. I think the first order of business is this wall needs to be longer. Okay. Now, we hop out. No. Give me my camera, maybe. Yeah. Alright. Cool. So, whoops. Alright, it seems I might have broken my ship. Did I break my ship? Possibly. Why you no go nowhere. Okay, let me fix this. I'll be right back. Right, okay. So, we line ourselves up left to right with the blocks. That helped. But top to bottom was the problem. I think if we go into the gyroscopes, we can override their controls. And I think by leaving all of these alone, it should lock the gyroscopes to level. So let's see, if I override, we'll line him up as best we can. That looks pretty good to me. Then we'll come in here, hop into the gyros, and override their controls. Now if I move my mouse up and down, it doesn't change, nor does left to right. So that has effectively locked us in. Theoretically, I should be able to hold right click, yep, and move forward. Cool. Alright, more tunnel to dig. One more update here. This is working great, but I've gone in to our control panel here and I've found the thruster facing forward, and I assigned him to a group called brakes. So now I should be able to hold right click, turn off the forward thruster, and if I just do this wrong, is it the other one? I always put the wrong one on. Is it not this one? They're not called thrusters, they're called atmospheric engines. this one? Is it backward? Yeah. There we go. Yeah. So now I can just tap it a little bit like that, and when I turn it back on, it will bring me to a stop. See you in a bit. Just checking back in here. I'd say we've officially left the lake. We're about 946 meters away from our antenna at our base. The marker I had set up, you can see there, is still nearly 800 meters in front of me, but there's definitively less ice. Well, maybe we're at the edge of the lake? That's gotta be it. It's gotta be either getting to the shallow part, the shore. Yeah. Alright. More digging. See you in a minute. Alright. Just checking back in here. So, I think we are there. This is that marker I had placed on the outside. And it no longer gets further away in any lateral direction I move. So, I've built this little frame just enough to align the mouse here and as close to a straight up as I can. I'm going to go ahead and lock the gyros. And let's see where we come out here. Just a touch down there. Those are so noisy. So, with any luck, we will come out approximately on that hilltop where we started the episode. And then we'll have an unbroken line of blocks. Even though they're not finished, they will still count as part of the grid, and space engineers will allow them to share power. Which means we put a bunch of solar panels out here on the hilltop. We should get all of that power back at the base. I thought about finishing the line, you know, welding all the blocks into place, but yeah, that's a lot of iron, and I don't really think there's any point to it. I can't remember where we go. Let's go back to the first person. Alright, so this should be interesting. I'm really excited to see how well I did lining this up here. But my plan is we will build a pretty tall tower, and I want to do a solar array with rotors, so it'll be able to turn to face the sun in any direction. And I've got a script in mind that we'll be looking at when we get that far. That will help it align to the sun, which will be cool. I was planning on building more than one of these, but how much time this tunnel took? Maybe not so much. Maybe we'll just build a really big one. That could be fun. I've had the assemblers making solar panels all day. So we'll have enough. Take, I think, 32 a piece. To be honest, I'm not sure how large the solar array will make, but let's see where we come out here. Alright. Cool. Now let's see. Let's get... right, the gyros are locked. Let's see where we're at here. We'll turn the landing pads back on. Just set down. There we go. Hey, now that's pretty cool. Did I leave a scar on the lake? Looks like I did. That's awesome. All right, so now I should be able to just bring that line all the way up to the top. Give me a minute and let me get that much accomplished. All right, and there we are. So we've got our tunnel all full of blocks, not all completed. And I put a little, can I get out of here? Maybe? Put a little frame around it. Can't quite get there. That looks better. So this will be the platform. Here's another little one I'm going to have to try and get to. This will be the platform that we'll build our solar flower or tower on top of. So I'll seal that up. And I'm thinking, let's see, kind of want it maybe 3 by 3, make it look nice. So if it's a 3 by 3 thing, maybe like there. And then could do a real simple design. Maybe something like this. If that's the case, we don't actually need that. And then we'll go with some of the angled bits. Like that. No, no, maybe, no, no, yes. Yeah, something like that. That's what I'm thinking. And then we'll take that and we'll go up a lot. Enough so that we can get, I don't know, let's see, if we were, make a waypoint here. Move you. And then let's just go up. So I want to get far enough away, or up rather, that elevation doesn't become an issue really. Yeah. So what is that? $600 meters? I mean, that seems, you know, way too high. Okay. Yeah, and then we'll have a flower up here. Or, I keep saying flower. You know what I mean. Oh, this is going to be fun. I hope none of you are afraid of heights. Hope I can stop. That's better. There we go. So I will go ahead and build that, which will take me a while. And yeah, and then we'll build a solar array on that, and the all the power should go back to our base there. You know, maybe should look at. See, these are all for small ships. I think the azimuth battery holds more than the normal one. Not absolutely certain of that, but yeah, I could put some of these guys maybe right here. You know, could have 4 of them, or could really stack them in the design. Maybe something like this. Is that right side up or upside down? That's right side up. We could put 1, 2, 3 and 4. That'll keep the power stored here. It'll still transmit and share back with the base, but... All right. Well, I'm about out of time. Thank you all for joining me. Hope you had a good time as always. And I will see you next episode. Bye-bye.